Hey, this is Moa Smokes, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the Stinger from Mason Shishaware. So the Stinger is actually this little bowl that I have in front of me right here, and I made a public review on the Mason Shishaware website under this product, and I called it the pound for pound Tangiers champion. I figured I should elaborate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the camera in a little bit closer. I'm going to show you close-ups of the Stinger. I'm going to show you how I pack Tangiers in it so you can see how little Shisha it takes, and then I'm going to talk to you about the pros and cons, and then I'm going to use it while I'm smoking. All right, so here we have the Stinger. It looks like this. You can see it's white clay. The side looks like this. It's this nice like greenish blue. The inside is orange, very vibrant, it's nice. You can see I've used it. So it's not the cleanest, but you know, I've washed it. And I have the scale here just so I can show you how much it actually weighs. Drop this on here. And you can see mine is 225 grams. Now keep in mind these are handmade, so the weight varies a little bit. But what I have here is a container of green apple stuff from Tangiers. And I'm gonna reset this, so it's 0 again. And I'm actually just gonna pack this. So here's my Tangiers, and maybe I'll move it over here. So once I have it to about here, you see that I've fluffed it. I'm just gonna push it down and even it out. You see I'm pushing gently. Make sure it's nice and even. All right, there's my pack. And now if I weigh this, it's 8 grams of Tangiers. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna foil this and we're gonna put it on a shisha and start smoking. First, I'm gonna wash my hands because this is gross. I actually realized something after I went and washed my hands. I should probably show you how to foil this because a lot of people are having problems foiling it. So what I did was I grabbed some Zomo strong foil, which is the foil that I use. And all I'm gonna do is pull and then place and then push down like this. And then from there, all I'm gonna do is lift my hand, bring this down. And it's okay if you have some little parts come up because what you're gonna do is, I like to do this in the air, but what you're gonna do is you're gonna pull the foil down. So any of these parts right here that are coming up, just bring them down. Same here and there. And then you have your tight foil. So here, and it's okay if it's not perfect right now because we're gonna fix it anyways. So now I got a foil poker, I'm gonna poke a hole in the middle, and I just do this next part for Tangiers only. I poke straight down to the bottom of the bowl. And basically I'm drawing. So top, bottom, left, right. Same thing here. And then a hole between each one. And again, all the way down to the bottom. And then it's gonna look like this. And then for those parts that are loose, all you're gonna do is just pull the foil down more because you wanna make sure your foil is drum tight. And there you go. Now your foil's tight and you have the holes poked and you're ready to put coals on this and put this on a shisha and smoke. I'm gonna cut this because this is gonna bother me. So don't be surprised if this isn't here for the next scene. All right, so you're not scheduled to be in this one. Bro, I'm recovering. I haven't been able to move in days. All right, hold on. Yo. That was Gotham. All right, so I packed a bowl. I have my 2 La Orange coals in here. That's what I use when I smoke Tangiers. I have my apple on top, and now I'm just gonna start it. All right, not bad. We'll give it a second, but let's actually talk about this bowl, the pros and cons, and kind of go from there while the bowl is warming up. So the Stinger is $63.95 on Mason Shishaware's website. They do them in drops, so make sure you sign up to their newsletters, make sure you're following them on Instagram so you figure out when they're dropping and what's gonna be in the drop. As you saw earlier, it's a funnel bowl. That means it has, 1 big hole in the middle and not, 5 smaller holes at the bottom of the bowl. It has that trench area where you can pack your shisha. You saw me pack Tangiers in it. Mine takes 8 grams of Tangiers. I've had people say it takes 9, it takes 10, but these bowls are handmade, so it varies. And then when you go to blonde, I've tried haze, I've tried element, I've tried trifecta, and it takes anywhere from 9 to 11 grams of shisha depending on the brand. And again, they're handmade, so it depends on the bowl that you get. Now with blonde, I was able to get an hour and a half, which is 1 full set of coals before I started to feel like the flavor was starting to not be all there or not as potent. With Tangiers, the reason I call this the pound for pound champ for Tangiers is with 8 grams, I'm getting over 2 hours. It makes it kind of the ideal bowl for me to try new Tangiers flavors or try new Tangiers mixes or to try mixes in general. It's a small capacity bowl that hits. Let's see if it's hitting yet. So now you're starting to see the clouds that actually come from this bowl, and it's pretty impressive. The bowl itself, like I said, it's handmade, it's thick, it's actually white clay, which actually comes into play with how it handles heat. It's able to maintain the heat, but it doesn't get as hot as, the brown clay that you're used to with these Mason Shishaware bowls. Like the gravel is made out of brown clay and, it heats up to a pretty high level, whereas this stays at a nice, consistent, like medium heat level. It's ideal for Tangiers. This is the first bowl that Mason Shishaware has made specifically for the Provost, which is the heat management device that I'm using on top of this bowl right now. And as you can see, the bottom sits right outside of the top of the bowl, but the center of the bowl where all the heat is actually right center in the bowl. Like it looks like, it was made for it. Like it fits perfectly. This bowl is a little over 2 inches tall, so it's a very small bowl. And capacity wise, it's also, small capacity. So it kind of fits with the, it's called the Stinger for a reason. It stings like a bee. It's small but mighty. Like I see what they did there. It was clever and it's aptly named. The color is actually called Killa Bee, which I thought was really cool. But like I said, the outside is like a bluish green and the inside is an orange. So I'd be interested to see what other colors they do with this sort of glaze on this bowl. It's super easy to clean. The most I've ever had to use with it is an SOS pad, which is how I deep clean my bowls. Like if a sponge and dish soap and warm water won't do it, then I switch the sponge out for an SOS pad and clean it that way. I guess we should talk about the cons, because there's a couple. The first con is that it's hard to get. As all Mason Shishaware bowls are, they do limited drops. There's a limited quantity available. You have to make sure you're signed up for the newsletter. You have to make sure that you have your alerts turned on so you know when the drop is. And the second it drops, you have to add it to your cart and check out or it's gonna be gone. The second con is that it's not easy to foil for everyone. So that's the reason I showed you how to foil it in the review. I feel like a lot of people have been complaining that it's hard for them to foil because it's so small. But I feel like my hands are, I don't know, medium sized or whatever they're classified as, and it's not really a problem for me. What I do really like about it is I feel like I get more of the Tangiers flavors with this bowl specifically. because of the level of heat that it gets to. And I feel like it makes it easier for people that are not as used to Tangiers to smoke Tangiers. Like I had this bowl going when I did the review for the A-Motion Rome, and one of my friends like picked up the hose while I was working on the review and started smoking, and I actually just had to stop editing the review, and I looked over and I'm like, what's happening? And they were like, oh, this is great. I'm like, you're smoking a bowl of straight up Tangiers. They're like, yeah, I love it. I'm like, they've never smoked Tangiers before. So that's something to note. So watch out for that. I'm gonna pull real quick. Now, a couple of notes about the way that I packed it. That's the way I pack Tangiers, that's the way that I foil Tangiers, and that's the way that I poke holes for Tangiers. If you have other methods, feel free to try them, but that's the way that I feel works best for me, so feel free to try that as well. Now, I'm curious to know what you guys think about the Stinger. Like, what colors do you want to see the Stinger come out in? What do you think of the bowl, just from the review? If you have it, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I apologize for my voice. I'm actually getting over a cold, so that's why I don't sound the way that I normally sound, but I did want to make sure that I got this review out there. So I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.